I'm going to expose and give you the truth when it comes to obtaining capital. Business owners never understand this. Banks don't give high limits to people who want money. They give high limits to people who they trust with money. But I'm going to make sure that they trust you, because in today's lesson, I'm going to break down how the banks decide who gets big limits, the biggest misconceptions business owners have, and way more to obtain $250,000 in capital the smart way. So what I want you to do is go grab your pen and paper, and without further ado, let's dive in. All right, ladies and gents, business owners, whoever's, really watching this, I just want to give, a disclaimer right here. This is all for, educational based information. But if you use this information properly from what I've gotten from bank connections, bank reps, you will see those high limit credit cards start coming your way on the business side. Because a lot of you are using outdated information, or just using information from this video, that video, and you really don't have a strategy. So just hear me out of what I've said, and hopefully this can help you. The first thing that I want to do is clear up the biggest myths, because these myths are the reason why people are stuck at, $2,000 limits, and others are getting $20,000, $50,000, even $100,000 in, approvals. Okay. So misconception number one is, if my credit score is high, the bank has to give me a high limit. Stop it. All right, because your credit score is like your report card, but banks also want to see your behavior. Because a 700 credit score can still belong to somebody who has maxed out credit cards, late payments, and applies for credit products like crazy. All right, you think I'm lying? I'm telling you, I see people with bankruptcies that have 700 credit scores. Okay, doesn't mean that they're going to get approved for anything. Misconception number two is that banks are random and it's all just luck. This is also a no. Okay. Banks are basically professionally risk calculators. That's all they really are, okay? They're asking one simple question. If we give you $20,000, do we feel safe getting it back? That's literally it. That's the game. Let me ask you like this. If you had your homeboy down the street and he asked you for $20,000, never asked you for that type of money in your life, and he's like, yo, I'm good for it. I promise I'm going to pay you back, yada, all this other type of stuff. But then you got people in your ear, aka your credit report, telling you, yo, he didn't pay such and such back. He didn't pay this person back. Yo, he paid him back, but he really didn't pay them back. So I don't know if he really going to pay you back. When you feel some type of way about giving him $20,000, exactly. Misconception number three, which I've heard a lot of times, a relationship means that I need to be best friends with the banker. No, that's not a thing either, okay? They can care less about you. They can care less about me. So when I say relationships matter, it's not talking about, handshakes and golf. You see what I'm saying? It's all about proof, all right? What the proof is in the pudding. And this is exactly why my clients win when it comes to getting business capital. We don't just apply and hope. We build a profile and a plan that makes the bank says, okay, this person is safe. Let's approve them. So now that you know the myth, let's talk about what banks actually look at, because a lot of this came from, again, my bank connections. So I just want to give you this information right here. Think of a bank like the teacher. The bank is not always going to make the kid who's always getting in trouble the class helper. They give class helper jobs to the kids who are responsible. Banks do the same exact thing, just with super high limits. So here are the bank trust scorecards. And I'm going to explain this in 5 main things, okay? Number 1, payment history. Do you pay on time? Not most of the time, not sometime, on time, okay? Late payments are like telling the bank, sometimes I feel responsible, sometimes I don't feel like being responsible. And that they're not going to reward you for that. They don't reward sometimes, okay? Now, they're outliers, of course, but they probably won't do that for you. Number 2, your current debt load. If you already have a bunch of debt, the banks think you're carrying a heavy backpack. And if your backpack is already overflowing, they don't want to add more bricks. All right. They don't want to add whatever's already in the backpack to make it heavier. Then you're really not going to do anything. All right. And number 3, we're talking about cash flow and income. For business owners, this matters a lot. And you guys kind of forget this. Banks like businesses that look alive and consistent. Money comes in, money comes out, and the account stays healthy, perfect, and healthy. Number 4, credit behavior, okay? This is part that people also ignore. If you apply for 5 cards in 2 weeks and they're coming in specific ways, you're going to look desperate. And desperate creates red flags, okay? Calm is confidence, and calm always wins. Number 5, comparable credit, a big one. Comparable credit means if someone has trusted you with $20,000 and you handled it well, they feel safer giving you $20,000 too, okay? So if you have high limits on the personal side, then it's gonna help you in, I'll say it like this. So I'll just give you a quick example. So if you already have a $10,000 credit limit on the personal side, getting $10,000 on the business side is gonna be way easier. All right, banks don't want to be the first one all the time to give you high limits, okay? So they want to make sure that you're going to come in, you've already done something like this in the past, so they feel more comfortable giving you something around that way. Kind of like mirroring what you already have. Does that make sense? Now, with all that being said, I know you're probably thinking, yo, Eric, that's all fine and well, but where does the relationship part come in? Perfect. You're thinking. I'm glad that you're really paying attention. When it comes to the relationship acts as a coincide of your business credit or personal credit profile, It acts kind of like a 1-2 punch, because a banking relationship is kind of like a recorded video of your business. It's proof of how you operate and things of that nature. Let's imagine, two business owners walk into a bank, okay? So bank business owner, number one says, trust me, I do make money. But the second business owner just says, you don't have to trust me. You can literally see it in my account. You see my deposits are consistent, my bills are paid, my balance stays healthy. So who do you think that they'll feel more comfortable giving more capital to? Exactly. If you said number 2, you won, okay? Because again, relationships matter because they reduce the bank's fear. And fear is the number one reason why banks say no, especially in this economy right here. So they will definitely give you low limits. So the goal is to not convince the bank. The goal is to remove doubt. Okay, does that make sense? Quick break. I hope that you're enjoying the video, but this could change your business forever. If you're a business owner that's trying to scale, I got some free gifts for you. First up, we have our Credit Bootcamp. Video trainings where I personally walk you through how to access up to $150,000 in capital, step by step. No fluff, don't worry about it, and straight game. I usually reserve some of the information that I gave you here just for my private clients. And I'm also adding more. Plus, I'm dropping a free inquiry removal kit, okay? This is the exact system that you can use to delete hard inquiries in 48 hours flat. It's all 100% free. The only thing that's gonna cost you is your email. That's it. Or you can click the link below to sign up for our free capital consultation where I can help you gain up to $300,000 in capital. So again, click the link below and grab it now. But enough about that, let's get back to the video. So now that you understand what a relationship really means, let's talk about smart funding, all right? So when it comes to this, this play actually helps people stack capital without creating chaos on their profile. So here's the biggest mistake that I kind of see with people that try to do it themselves. People apply first and build a relationship later. Don't do that. Don't do that at all, okay? The smart play is to build the relationship early and then apply in the correct order. And then here's the line that I want you to remember, okay? You can build banking relationships all at once, but you should apply for a credit sequence in a strategic way because applications hit your profile and they're kind of like wet footprints and wet cement, okay? And if you do too many too fast and banks see it, you best believe that this denial is coming, okay? So the strategy is basically simple. So open the right accounts, run clean activity, let things season, then you apply, okay? That's the plan. And to make it real, let's walk through a few bank examples so you can see how the relationship works in real life. Let's start with Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo can be powerful when your profile is strong and your business is organized correctly, okay? And if you have multiple separate businesses, meaning separate entities and separate EINs, you can often build separate banking stories for each business. But rules do matter. And this is where people get confused. For certain Wells Fargo business card products, one company can't have more than one account with that exact card. So the way you win with Wells Fargo is not spamming applications, okay? The way you win is building a clean relationship, keeping or keeping the profile strong and showing the bank that you're not risky. So that's basically what you want to do for that. Keep the personal credit strong. And if you're going to personal guarantee, a lot of people aim for that 700 plus as a typical target, okay? And make sure you keep your utilization low. I'm talking about below 30%, ideally 10%. And have a few accounts that show good history. And don't show up like you're applying everywhere all at the same time, okay? Remember, calm wins, okay? Relax. The next one that we're going to talk about is US Bank. Now, US Bank is sometimes tricky, all right? They really want you to prove yourself because they're known for being way more conservative than other banks. So you really have to be tactical with them. Now, technically, you don't have to have an existing US Bank relationship to get one of their business credit cards, but here's the real world truth, okay? If you're applying to get strong limits, show stability, and you can have your funds in your account with no issue, okay? So here's a simple 30 to 90 day relationship strategy. You need to open the business checking account, of course. And then for 30 to 90 days, you need to make it look like you're operating a real business, which I hope that you're doing. So money goes in, money comes out. Not fake, not weird. Real deposits, real expenses, software, supplies, payroll, marketing, rent, whatever you do for your business, just do it in US Bank. Because the goal is simple. When the bank looks at you, they see a business that's breathing, not a business that was born yesterday that's just trying to chase credit. You're not doing this to trick the banks. You're doing this to prove that you are real, okay? Because banks don't love surprises. They can't stand that. They love patterns, okay? So now let me transition you to a lender that works a little different than traditional banks, but I just want to show you how you can have a relationship, but it doesn't mean all the time in the same exact manner. And we're going to be talking about American Express. Everybody knows the American Express. Now with them, they're built a little different because it's not the classic walk into a branch relationship, okay? With Amex, your relationship is built through how you use their cards. Now, of course, you can open a checking or savings account with them. You can, most definitely, but they really don't require that. But a lot of people be thinking, yo, then I could just start applying willy-nilly. Hold on, this is how people mess themselves up. They get an Amex, they run it up, and then they pay late or they're inconsistent, and then they wonder why Amex is not showing them any love moving forward. So here's a simple Amex way that I teach people that try to get funding on themselves. I always say start with personal cards, okay? And before you say I'm trying to get business, just hear me out, okay? Starting with personal cards or Amex is building that relationship overall. I always say try to get the green charge card, okay? If it's your situation, just use it normally, pay it on time, and pay it by your due date, and be consistent for at least 60 days. Because Amex likes consistency that builds fast, okay? The more you show you're responsible, the more breathing room that you can earn, okay? And once you've built that personal relationship, you can start moving your business products. And yes, many business cards still require a personal guarantee, but this means that personal credit does matter. So don't treat your personal credit like it doesn't, okay? It matters, no matter how you twist and turn it. So now once you have that personal relationship, it's going to catapult you on the business side. And now you're going to be able to see those higher approvals. But a lot of people mess themselves up because they start sometimes on the business side. I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are going to watch this can attest to this. They'll just go straight to the business side and they'll try to apply for any one of their business credit cards. And they wonder why in the world do I get a $2,000 limit when I have a 720 credit score? It's because they don't know you. And just to prove to you that a lot of the information that I'm giving you is actually really, really helpful, I've helped a lot of people with Amex, be able to acquire, high limits, even with charge cards that go up to like almost $100,000, $50,000 and things of that nature. And even having even more luck at other banks utilizing banking relationships, okay? Because every single business owner that comes through my program, we able to get them $50,000 to $300,000 in business capital, okay? Because it's all about having the Cinderella profiles, I like to call it, and then having the right sequence that fits your needs. Because once you're able to do that, now you're able to get these high limits in capital, and now you're able to scale your business, okay? So instead of you making no income, zero income, $1,000, going all the way up to making $50,000 a month, $75,000 a month, $100,000, and I know all of that sounds good. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to structure everything properly of what you're going to need as far as on the personal side, building banking relationships, building your business sequence to get you that funding that you need to scale to the moon, okay? And if you feel that actually hits home for you, then what I want you to do is click the link below right now to sign up for a capital consultation so we can help you put it together, that plan to get you $50,000 to $300,000 in business capital so we can get you to that next level. Again, click the link below right now so we can help you, and I'll definitely see you on that side. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I really hope that this helps one of you guys. Anytime that I get any information from any of my business bank connects and what they're telling me, I always try to tell you guys so you guys can start getting more successful, so there's no gatekeeping, so we can help you access the high limits and scale your business and start building wealth. Again, I want to thank you guys for stopping by, and until next time, ladies and gentlemen.